Hey everybody, so I know I look pretty rough, okay? I'm sick, I have a cold, and I feel bad. I don't remember what video. I think in my Gabby Hanna video, I talked about wanting to go through all of my single shadows and basically like try them all, see what works, see what doesn't, see what I like, see what I don't like, and get rid of them. And I have started to do that, so this eye look that I have on today was just an experimental kind of thing. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm also gonna be recording down over here so that you could kind of see a little bit better what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the shades. So I have a lot of these MAC palettes. It's not a secret, I used to work for MAC, so a few of these singles and most of these palettes are going to be from MAC. These come out, and then this is a magnet here, so I don't know, like, I never really needed these inserts, but I got them anyway. My goal here, so here is my plan. I have this Colourpop palette. I've got these two almost full, and I've got these two almost full. My plan here is to declutter and purge and condense all of these singles down to ideally just one of these. For the rest of these empty palettes, I am going to use these in my freelance kit. Right now, I just work out of like existing palettes, and what I want to do is depot everything and pick and choose what I like and only keep what I like in my freelance kit, because that is also getting kind of crazy. So the way that I'm gonna do this is, well, first you can see that I've been putting lines in some of these, and that was to signal to me that I don't like those shades, because I kind of felt like I wanted to make a video like this. So the ones with the lines in them are shades that I've tried and I just don't like them and I don't want them anymore. They just like either performed really horribly or no, that's it, they just sucked. So I'm gonna first just get rid of what I know sucks and what I know I don't want. And then I am going to start condensing things down and trying as I go. After everything that I hate has been purged, I'm gonna take what's left over, which are shades that I like or shades that performed well, and I'm gonna literally go through all of my existing palettes, and if I can find a dupe in an existing palette for the single that I like, I'm just gonna get rid of the single. The thing about the single shadows are like, So I used to work for MAC, obviously. If you've been to a MAC counter or a MAC store, I think now they do more palettes. At the time I worked for them, they just had like this size palette. They had two of these, and they were like neutrals, neutral warm, neutral cool, and they just didn't really do palettes. So I got super into singles and super into creating my own palettes, because that's just kind of what MAC has to offer. So now, like, for all of my, you know, existing palettes that I like to work out of, I become like emotionally attached to them. Like, I see the packaging and I know what I'm gonna get out of that palette. I know what the color story is. I know that if I just use this palette only, I can create these types of looks. I also pretty well know, like, when I pull out a palette, if I'm looking for a specific shade, I know which palettes to pull out and look for that shade. I just prefer working with palettes in that way. And then for my singles, I don't know, like it's just in black packaging, or in the case of like the Colourpop, it's just in like, I can't see what's in here, so I kind of forget, and it's just like a plethora of rainbow singles that kind of work, kind of don't. Listen, I've been rambling too much about it. Either you're a palette bitch and you get what I'm saying, or you're a singles bitch and you think I'm crazy. Either way, I'm trying to get rid of my singles. So first I want to go through the shades that I don't like, that I know I don't like. This palette here, this one, I don't have anything that I hate out of here. This is just a palette that can do no wrong, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just kind of neutrals, kind of pink, mauve-y kind of tones. We've got a bright pink, which I don't think I've tried this one yet. I have a feeling I won't like it. I also have a feeling I don't need it. Love this little mustard and a nice little orange. Other than those pops, it's a pretty neutral palette. This one's gonna be hard for me to get rid of because they're just easy shades. But if I can find a dupe for some of these, then that'll be a lot easier. And that is that. Oh my God, you can see, like, I hate MAC. Watch my video, I hate MAC. So you can see, like, this used to say MAC and I scratched it off. I hate MAC. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this out. So the first one that I don't like, it looks like an army green, but it's not. It goes on the skin more gray with like a little hint, like a little tiny touch of like a military green. But mostly it's a dark gray and I just don't like it. And this is called Team Captain from Colourpop. It didn't perform poorly, it's just not a shade that I really want. I also have quite a few kind of like gray-based greens as well as green-based grays that I can kind of mix and match to create this. I just don't need it. Next is, this one is the blue that sucked ass in my Gabby video and I hate it so much. It's Atlantic Blue. I know this is a MAC shade. It's truly terrible. Just, this is going in the trash right now. The next one, this one is one that I put on today, so I didn't make a little mark in it, but I know that I'm just not into it very much. This one is on my eyes, the middle of my lid. It's just nothing special. I just don't care about it. It didn't do much for me. It's not bad, I just don't want it. This one is Teal Appeal, also from MAC. It's not, you know what, is it? Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like womp, there it is. I'm throwing this away. As far as like this whole top row of warm pinky peachy shades, I've been trying these out. I have not hated any of these so far. I'm wearing a couple today. I don't know. If I'm using a shade and I automatically know that I hate it, I put the little thingy in it. These ones are fine. Here's one that I don't like for the same exact reason that I didn't like that last blue. It's just kind of like, it's prettier in the pan than on the skin, and I have a really good version of this shadow in my Juvia's Place Magic palette that I like so much better. This is called Steamy from MAC, and it's going in the trash. I love these two shades. This one is like a really light, soft, just like little touch of like a minty teal. This one here is on my inner corner today, and it's just, I really thought I was gonna get rid of it because it's kind of getting hard pan. It's not great, but it's just a beautiful, like, toxic slime kind of shade. I really do like it. But if I can find a dupe for this in my collection, I kind of don't want it anymore. It's kind of, well, it's kind of gross. Oh, I don't even know what this is. This must be a NYX shade. Okay, so there is an entire video on my channel about this palette, and these are all new shades for the most part. But this one here, sucks. This one also failed in my Gabby video. It's just like nothing. It blends away into nothing. It's patchy and chalky and I hate it. And this is Muscle Beach. I hate it. It's going in the trash. This here makes me really sad. This is Hungry Ghost. It's a pressed glitter. I ordered this, and then as soon as it came to me, I started hearing about pressed glitter and how bad it is, people losing their eyes, people going blind, and this hurts because I really love it. It's just so pretty, but the glitter particles are just so big and chunky, whereas like I still have this loose glitter from NYX, and I mean it's a loose glitter, but the glitter pieces are a lot smaller. I also really do love the Glitterly Obsessed from Colourpop, just because these are so much more wet, and the formula just like, it stays where you put it. It doesn't really flake off, it doesn't fall around. But these pressed glitters are so messy and they just kind of go everywhere, and I'm honestly afraid to put this on my eyelid, and I just won't. So this is going in the trash. As sad as it is, I mean, there's glitter everywhere now, and I haven't actually touched it. I've just touched the outside, and there's glitter everywhere. I don't want it on my face or on my eyes. So that's all I hate right away in this palette. I actually have two of these, Paper Tiger. The other one is in here, and this one is much older, so I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm gonna keep this one. I still have to try out, like, this one here. This shade is called Thank You Next, and I don't know, I literally only got it for the name. It's just kind of like patchy and poofy, like, do you see what I mean? Like, it doesn't really, it can be pretty, and I've done looks where it is pretty, but you know what? I think it's time to just get rid of it, because it doesn't actually, I just don't ever have a good time using it. Okay, I will keep giving this palette a try, and I'll let you know how it goes. These are all MAC singles, and this was my little like rainbow palette. When I worked for the brand, I wanted to put together a rainbow palette. This was my very first MAC eyeshadow I ever bought. It's called Beautiful Iris. Genuinely, I do not remember using that shade as much as I would have needed to use it to hit that amount of pan. I have no recollection of it, and it's time for me to let that one go. These two here are just truly terrible. Like, they've both hit total hard pan, like thick hard pan. They are just awful. I don't want to talk about them anymore. This one here I attempted to use today, and even though there's no hard pan on it, like, where is the shadow? Like, where is it? And this one here, same kind of thing, like, it's just kind of like a nothing shade. Like, I realize I've got other swatches kind of staining my hand right now. This would be really pretty on a deeper skin tone for kind of like a buttery highlight, but on me, it's just kind of like, it wants to be yellow, it wants to be there, but it's not. So these 4, 5 are gonna go. I used this one today in my crease, and I really like it. I also used, oh, this one has a thing in it too. I used this one too on my outer corner. It's just kind of like patchy. It's kind of there, but it's kind of like, again, like, do you want to be blue? Do you want to be gray? I have other colors like this, and it's just, I don't care for it. All right, so the last one that I'm going to talk about, these are my, like, glitter kind of, a lot of these are like when MAC was trying to copy Urban Decay and do their own Moondust formula. Some of these are Colourpop. This one's Colourpop. This is going to be the hardest palette for me because I am a sucker for glitter. I'm a sucker for shimmer. I have not brought myself to actually go through any of these. I have a feeling I hate this one. Yeah, I hate that one, so I'm going to get rid of that one. So what I'm going to do is just clear out everything I hate, and I'm going to condense, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm all done condensing, and I was able to clear out 2 full MAC palettes. Like I said, these are going in my freelance kit. I'm recycling the plastic inserts, and everything was able to pretty snugly fit. I'm not going to open them because some don't have magnets on them yet. I just need to put magnets on the ones I want to keep. But 2 are in here, and there's just 1 spot missing in here. Ideally, I want to get down to just 1 of these. Ooh. Things are falling. I know that I am going to be getting rid of some of these like more glittery ones because the MAC formula, I just don't like it. Not to mention I have the Moondust palette, which I know is controversial. People just generally don't like this palette, but I like it a lot. I like the Moondust formula. And I also have the Fenty Beauty Galaxy palette from a few years back. So I really don't need all of these glittery shimmery shades. I just don't. This one looks pretty much the same. These 2 are new. Again, I probably won't keep those. And then this one here, these are the more neutrally shades that they're just, most of these, they just perform well. They're just neutrals. But I'm sure like these 2 are practically, are these the same? No, they're not the same, but they're basically the same. So I will continue to condense this down and give you updates as they come. I think that this will just be a fun video. I'm gonna try to keep it short-ish, but I realize it is a lot to go through. I think the most fun part of this video is going to be seeing what I have that are dupes in my palettes. But that's what I'm gonna do, so I will update you next time I have an update. Hi, I'm using a different camera here. I know, my skin is stained. I'm trying a different camera. Before I was using my phone, and those file sizes are just absurdly large, and it just takes forever to work with that. So this is what I have so far decided that I want to get rid of, and this is what I've decided that I like. So I have not actually went through any of this to find any dupes yet. This is just what I've used, and I've been like, okay, it works. I can see myself using it again. I'm gonna just throw it in here. There's a couple layers going on here. I probably have dupes for at least half of these, and half of these are gonna go. The reason I'm getting rid of these are all MAC Dazzle shadows. Everything here is dupeable within those 2 palettes. And this is a worse formula. I really do not like the MAC Dazzle shadow formula. When I worked for MAC, I was into it. I was obsessed with it because I didn't have either of these 2 palettes at the time, and I thought the MAC Dazzle shadows were as good as it's gonna get for pressed metallic glittery shadows, and boy was I wrong. So I just do not like these. This one here is MAC Expensive Pink. I have this from Colourpop called Come and Get It. They swatch differently, where Come and Get It from Colourpop is a little more pink, Expensive Pink is a little more peach. Applied to the eyes, Colourpop is just like a better version of Expensive Pink. I don't want that one anymore. And then this is Colourpop Outta Luck. It's just, I got it because I always use kind of like a skin tone, kind of like vanilla, my kind of skin tone shade to set my brow bone. I feel like that helps my crease color blend a little bit better through the edges while still allowing my crease and my lid to maintain opacity. This shade here is just too pink. Like it goes on my skin light pink and I just don't like it. So that is what I am getting rid of for now. I thought I would take you guys through my process of finding dupes because I know that I can find fucking dupes in here. I know I can. Here's my palette drawer. I know, it's absurd. I know. So basically what I do when I try to find a dupe is I will literally just pick out a palette. This is the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. I know, controversial, I know, but I really love enough shades in here that I just want to keep it. So I just kind of put them together like that. And I mean, I can look at this one here and that looks like the fucking same. So I'm gonna swatch. So that's different enough. I know that this here is not the palette in question. These are still shades that I have not gone through yet, but I know that I have this one from Makeup Geek called Untamed. And I bet it's pretty similar to this Flash shade from Kat Von D. That is different enough. The thing is that if I'm gonna go for like a gold like this, like a yellow gold, a true metallic gold, the difference of like level of tone like that is not really gonna matter to me. I'm just gonna go for like a gold, you know what I mean? Gold isn't a shade I really care enough about. So this is one that I'm gonna pass along. So I've got this Secret Garden from Makeup Geek. I want to compare it to What up here. I don't know what I'm doing. Secret Garden and What. Okay, so Secret Garden is on the bottom there, a little deeper. The shift is almost identical. I don't know if it's catching on camera, but the shift in there is identical. Secret Garden just has a little bit of like a deeper, warmer base. But I bet if I took this velvet shade, oh, it was already there the whole time, and then put What on top of it, I mean, that's just one little experiment. I could play around with it and I could pretty much use this palette here to make this happen. I know, like, people don't like Kat Von D, so it's probably a bad example. That's kind of like my process for finding dupes. I mean, I'm gonna just pull out another random palette. I didn't even look, I just grabbed, this is the Ace Beauté Flare palette. I'll open it up and I will just kind of look at what I've got, you know? So this shade here, Mulberry, looks pretty close to Hoax from MAC. Hoax is, you know, a touch deeper with a touch more brown, but I could just dip one little bit into Acorn and there it is, you know? So Hoax is gonna go. And I am just gonna repeat this process by picking out palettes, scanning what I've got, swatching, comparing, and seeing if it's even worth it to keep certain shades. I know that there are some that I will keep, like without a doubt. This one is Glass Bowl from Colourpop. It's just so unique and beautiful, and I love, every time I use it, I love my look that I create. So I'll keep that for sure. So yeah, that is what I've got. I am gonna go through the rest of these and then I will come back and I'll let you know like what I've kept, what I've gotten rid of due to either quality or dupeability, and I'll let you know what is a dupe for what, and then that will be the end. Okay, so I have went through every single that I have and I found dupes as much as I could. I hope that you're gonna be impressed. I've consolidated it all down to just this. Oh god. I still need to put magnets on them, but yeah, I have still even a little bit of room left, I think, for 3 or 4 more singles if I ever decide that I want. Okay, I'm gonna put that down. I'm very happy. I thought realistically, knowing myself and my hoarder mentality, that I would end up with 2 left over, but I only have a little bit less than 1. I also did find a little ABH quad of singles that I had, and I kept all but 1 or 2. This is gonna be my last update for this video, and up until this point I've used like a secondary camera so I can show like with my hands on the table so I don't have to constantly be picking things up. But I realized that I totally did that wrong because this main camera was not always rolling. So figuring out the audio, I haven't started editing yet because I just realized I fucked up so bad and it's just gonna be a nightmare to edit and I just don't want to. So I'm not even gonna fuck around with a second camera for this installment. I'm just gonna talk and hold up things and show you the best that I can. So first things first, with these empty palettes, I think I already said, but I'm gonna clean them out and I'm gonna use them in my kit. I'm gonna depot my existing shadow palettes and like face palettes and stuff and keep them in these little empty thingies. For the singles that I've just decided suck ass, I'm gonna throw away. For the singles that have like still a good formula, still perform well, but I just don't want to have them because I have dupes, I'm gonna give them to my friends or my family, or I'm gonna sanitize them with some isopropyl alcohol and put them into my freelance kit. I have 39 singles that I am getting rid of from my personal collection. Rather than like pull out each one and show you like which palette I found it from, I think, because I have 2 full pages, okay? I found the most dupes from a single palette with blood sugar. So if you want blood sugar but you don't want to support Jeffree Star for whatever reason, or you don't have the budget to buy I think this is like 50 something dollars. I did find some dupes, so let's go into it. So the shade Tongue Pop in here, this really pretty peachy shade in blood sugar, is pretty close to Colourpop Centerfold. Again, I don't know if these are still available. I don't know when I got these. Centerfold's a little brighter, but it gets the job done. It's close enough. And then Colourpop The News. This one is much closer. So Tongue Pop is kind of right in between those two, but I figure for me, it kind of will serve the same purpose. That's how I decided to get rid of those shades. They're really beautiful. I actually love this bottom one here a ton, but it's nothing so special, and Tongue Pop is similar enough. Prick in blood sugar, this corner one here, that's really close to Newsflash from MAC. I did get rid of all of my MAC singles because fuck MAC. So there's MAC. It's just like a shittier version of Prick from blood sugar. MAC shadows are just awful. Fresh Meat from blood sugar and Colourpop's Stay Golden are pretty similar. I will say the dupes that I found are just close enough. These two are extremely close, but for me, close enough was good enough. And then Root Canal from blood sugar is really, really close to Seeing Stars from Colourpop. So there's some good Colourpop dupes. If you want the blood sugar palette, Colourpop has some decent dupes. I would even argue that this Colourpop one is, well, it's just deeper. I wouldn't say more pigmented, but it's deeper. Close enough is good enough, okay? I did find a really cool dupe within the singles that I had that I just highly recommend. So Pink Champagne from ABH and Snake Eyes from Colourpop are the same shade. Like, I swear to God, indistinguishable. I'm deciding to keep ABH and I'm gonna put the Colourpop Snake Eyes in my kit because this is just the most beautiful. Here, I'll swatch the Colourpop one. It is just the most gorgeous pink champagne, beautiful metallic lid shade. I do mostly brides or like bridal makeup when I freelance, and this is just gonna be on everybody's lid. So that is 100% going into my kit. I guess I could talk about the ones I'm keeping. I don't know if, I didn't think I'd have 40 shades to have to talk about, but I just found I mean, I found dupes for everything. I'll talk about the ones that are like more unique, I guess. This is Conjure Up from Colourpop, and it took me a while to find a dupe for it because it is just the most beautiful, perfect teal. Like, and the formula is so good. It's just a good, deep teal. I love it. And I found a dupe, where is it? I found a dupe in the Flare palette from Ace Beauté. And I wasn't expecting, because it's this forest pine that looks a lot more blue, but they are the same. Because I was looking more at like greens for this, but there is a lot of blue in there. So I'm really glad I found a dupe for that, because I did almost keep this one. I love it a lot. One of my favorite shades from Colourpop, Paper Tiger. I did find a couple of dupes for this in my kit just because it is just like a beautiful mustard. Like, so Cub and Killer Purr is really close. That's actually too light. What about Maine? Maine, that's the one. Maine and Killer Purr is like the same shade. So it hurts me to remove Paper Tiger from my my singles collection, but I do have quite a few dupes for it. It's not that unique of a shade, it's just really pretty. Colourpop's Tea Garden is also one of my favorites. I just really love this shade. It's very unique. So the dupe that I have is the Electric shade from Subculture. Yeah, so Subculture's Electric is just brighter and a little bit more of like an intense shine. Tea Garden has more of a base. So you can see when I turn my hand like that, Tea Garden is up at the top. It has kind of a warm brown base that Electric does not, but you can create that by just layering Electric on top of something else. I think I actually bought Tea Garden because it was said to be a dupe for Electric, and this, for a long time I was very resistant to buying Subculture because of all the reviews, so I was trying to buy dupes for shades that I wanted. I think that's why I bought Tea Garden. And I love it. I love Tea Garden, but I can get the same kind of job done with Electric, and I can make it a little bit better, I think. This palette here, I mean, I'm sure you can guess, Blue Blood. Both of these are in Blue Blood. They're both Colourpop. A lot of these warm tones were found pretty easily. They're all just a little bit different. I had a lot of like lime greens in my collection. Those, again, I gravitate to very similar shades. And so when I was buying singles, I was just buying a lot of similar singles. Now that I'm more into palettes, I'm buying palettes because my eye is drawn to those certain shades. So it's just, it wasn't hard to find a lot of these. This one here, here's another one that's really hard for me to be getting rid of. It's Blacklight from Makeup Geek. I almost don't want to get rid of it because I love it so much. It's a light blue, lavender kind of duochrome shift. So Juvia's Place has a dupe. Yeah. It's the shade right here, Fosso. I do love this shade for the same reason. It's a little more violet, a little more purpley, but the shift is the same. It's less blue, but it gets the job done. If you guys want me to do a palette collection, I'm down for that. I just like, to pull out the dupes for all these, I think I pulled them from like 15 different palettes. 19 different palettes, so I'd have to pull out like half of my collection. I want to talk about what I'm keeping because I think that's kind of interesting too, because I didn't find dupes for any of these. So this one is Deja Vu from Colourpop, and it's one of those lime greens that I had 4 lime greens and I got rid of all of them except this one because it goes on with the most beautiful yellow gold kind of shift, but it's just so pretty and unique, and it doesn't look like much, but I do really love it, and it's a really good kind of inner corner, kind of shifty kind of, I really love it. It's very unique. This is an Urban Decay Moondust shade called Glitter Rock, and I just love this formula. For some reason I depotted one, and I feel like, I don't know why I just did one. I think the experience of depotting this was awful. So I have a few more of these, but they're in the packaging. I just love these. They have, oh my god. They have just the most gorgeous, just little wisp of glitter. There are just, this is such a good topper shade for anything kind of warmer or mauve-y or neutral, anything. I love this shade. So these two are Colourpop. This one is For Sure, and this one is Slim Fit. I'm only keeping these because I found shades that were close enough, you know what I mean? But like, The swatches and the formula for these, sometimes Colourpop is hit or miss, but these ones are just so good. Like, I have hot pinks and I have orangey-ish shades, but these are just so good. And then I'm keeping Ooh, Ooh from Colourpop. For no good reason. It's just because it's Nisi Peace's favorite orange shade. So that's why. I guess I don't really need to keep Slim Fit if I have Ooh, now that I'm looking at these. Ooh is definitely brighter, but I don't need Slim Fit. I'm gonna get rid of Slim Fit. Wait For It from Colourpop, same kind of story. It's just gorgeous. A beautiful salmon peach pink. I just didn't find anything similar enough, and I love this shade. Two to Mango from Colourpop is the perfect, most beautiful lilac lavender. It's light, and I have other lilacs and lavender shades, but this one is just so light, and I don't have anything similar to it. Same thing with Tiki from Colourpop. I have yellows, but I don't have anything that is so... I have light yellows, I have buttery yellows. There's just something very unique about this one, that it's buttery and deep, but also being light and sheer. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just a really good kind of almost yellow. Best Coast Scenario from Colourpop. It's just kind of more of like a subtle toned down orange, but a brighter version of, what was that one? I don't have a lot of oranges in palettes, I'm realizing. I have some, but nothing like peachy or bright or anything. This one is called Come and Get It from Colourpop. I feel like I've already talked about this one actually. It's just a good rose gold. It's really gorgeous. This is ABH Enchanted. I don't have anything like this, and I don't actually use it very often, but it's so unique. It's just a really deep. I know that I've already talked about Glass Bowl in this video. I think I've talked about this, well, both of these are kind of the same thing. These are both from NYX. They are just really unique, and that's it. This one is called Too Much from Colourpop. It's one of those that it's like a matte with like shimmer within it, like the Tati sequin formula, kind of, but it is just really good. The glitter does blend away to an extent, but it still sticks around long enough. It's just really pretty, and I like it a lot. This one is called Earth Shine from Colourpop. It's just gorgeous. It's kind of like Blacklight that I talked about earlier, but it's just a little more sheer, a little more lavendery, and just more of like a whisper of color. Oh, I didn't swatch the NYX ones. This one's, I don't know the names. They just have a magnet on the bottom. I think this one's called Mermaid. It's just, it doesn't go on like you think that it would. It's just a gorgeous, very sheer, just a shimmer of like a blue-green. And then this one is like a good, beautiful, hot lime green slime, metallic-y, beautiful, just unique, just beautiful. And then the last one is called Hear Me Out from Colourpop, and it's just a beige. It's just a good nothing shade for my skin tone. That is what I'm keeping, and I'm getting rid of everything else. There are some really pretty shades in here, but I think you'll get a better idea of like what duped what if I do a palette collection video, and I can just go in depth into all my palettes, and I think maybe I'd have more fun doing that. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that is it. I feel really good. Like a weight has been lifted. I feel better about my collection. I feel better about the singles that I have, and knowing that when I reach for this, it's because I'm reaching for unique shades or things that I actually like using. Let me know what else you want to see from me. I'm down for whatever. As always, my social media will all be linked down below. Let's be friends. And I just want to say thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.